Hello and welcome to the Omega Republic, a radio podcast program for the furry and brony community. I am your host, Coppercap. Also joining me today is Cosmic Pros.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us here on Suiting Up for Life, where we seek out those in the furry fandom and get to know what it's like to be a furry and or brony and what they do to make who they are a part of the community. Today, we have Teleworking Dragon, also known as Green Dragon, joining us from Texas.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
We're pleased to have you here. We thank you very much. Today, Green Dragon has chosen the Care Rescue charity for our charity program. Care to give a brief description of it?
Yeah, sure. CARE is a nonprofit. They care for Center for Animal Research and Education for abandoned and rehomed large cats, any um, tigers, lions, leopards, pumas, and a three-legged llama and a house of family of lemurs. Um, they're out here west of Fort Worth, and um, they're the charity that the local con I call my home con, Texas Furry Fiesta, has sponsored since TFF was founded. And having been out there, they do some amazing work, and they big cat Derek. He
Mm-hmm.
posts videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and it's an amazing place. And without the furry community, they may not have been around. So yeah, it's an amazing organization.
Indeed. Yes, I am familiar with his work. Walk Compound. I don't know if you call them video podcasts or just him being silly, but it gives us an insight to his work and all that they do up there, and all these wonderful big cats gathered together in this one spot to where they can live out the rest of their lives in peace. One in particular, of course, is Cassie, the cougar, uh, the squeakiest cougar of them all.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, again, with the Omega Republic's program, receives within the 30 days after its post, we, the Omega Republic, will donate $1 towards the charity. Uh, we thank you for joining us here on Suiting Up for Life. Now let's get to know our guest with us today. All right. Now, I guess the best place to start is how long you've been part of the fandom and what exactly brought you here? What started you off in this direction?
Uh, for the furry fandom, I guess I would say I've adopted it, or it adopted me some 6 years ago. Leading up to that time, I guess there was um, uh, just kind of, not really quite associating with the furry fandom, but aware of it for a number of years. And uh, with the creation of Green Dragon, just fully embraced it and went all in. Uh,
What what was your first experience in the furry fandom exactly? You think?
First experience, um, well, we could go say the first con that I attended, which was Texas Furry Fiesta back in 2015. I would I'm going to say that was the pivotal moment that just I threw myself into the fandom at that time. At that point, Green Dragon was just a vision. He was something up in my head that was rattling around, trying to get out, and I didn't know how to bring them out. And actually, the part of uh, going to that con was to learn how to build fursuits. And after attending that, um, between over that summer to Labor Day weekend at Memphis Fur Meet, Green Dragon was born.
Nice.
And
So,
from there, other characters have joined the party.
Hmm.
so a furry convention is what really started you into it then.
Yeah, yeah. There was a bit of a push. Some bad things were happening at work, and I needed a break. And the convention was like 2 weeks away, and it was like the escape.
Hmm, I gotcha.
And you know, it was the final push that shoved me all the way in, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Cosmic?
Okay, so considering the fandom, what do you do towards contributing to it, said fandom? Like music, art, um, voice acting, charity, etc. And if so, if you could elaborate on what you do to contribute towards the fandom and why do you prefer said style?
As far as contributing to the fandom, I would say um, it started with the making of Green Dragon, and from there, making fursuits. And I have, at this point, I've taken a few commissions and created a few uh, heads and fursuits for other people. So I would say along the lines of creating the fursuits, but also with a background of electronics, doing the digital eyes and stuff like that. And that's a big part of what I've been contributing, but also with some of the cons I've been helping at cons for uh, just about since I started really joined into the fandom. The following year, it was helping out, being a volunteer, being the grunt, running here, there, doing whatever.
So
Hmm.
just kind of like a gopher.
That's where it started, and from there, it's yeah, being a part of the con, uh, being on staff, being a responsible, okay, responsible furry. I'm sure that's some sort of like military intelligence somewhere, but it happens.
Yeah, it does. I agree with you there. Being part of the community myself, I know where you're coming from.
Also,
Yeah.
fellow gopher, hoof bump.
Same
Yeah,
here. Same here.
yeah, and that's been part of some of the most interesting interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Being the new furry, not knowing and stuff like that. That's um, I've met a hotel manager, unfortunately, that way, being a door guard at the dealer's den for a con. Manager
Oh.
walks up. I didn't pay attention to manager on his lapel, and the dealer's den wasn't open. It was still in setup.
Oh
And I
no.
asked him, the dealer's den's not open. It'll be open shortly. Can you come back? And he didn't really take offense to it, but he just kind of brushed up. So I'm not allowed in my own ballroom as manager of the hotel, and the instant embarrassment and all that sets in. But in the years since, you know, we've you know we've talked and stuff like that and shared stories, ever since. So it was the introduction that led to another friend.
Hmm.
Hmm. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Oh, you poor, poor dragon. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's not the first time.
Oh no.
Playing Green Dragon has been an interesting ride,
Can
and that's the beauty of it. And
right.
hmm.
you know,
I
when
mean,
when you see people smiling and you hear them laugh, that's the biggest reward.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. 100%.
You know, taking a small detour, I for one have to applaud you for being so consistent and just doing your daily, good morning video clips on Twitter, just to know that that video might reach someone that particular day and just put that, temporary smile on their face.
The well, what you want to go through why that started?
Actually, I do.
Let's go through it.
It started as, you know, I told you, I was going through some rough times, and that drove me to go to my first con and then ended up creating Green Dragon. It was about a year later. Actually, it was almost exactly a year later. And I was at the same con, second year. And when I get back to work, there's a pink slip on my desk saying that you're basically being laid off.
Hmm.
Wasn't a surprise, but even if you're expecting such news, it was tough. And that's kind of where it started was okay, I need a message. I need something to do in the morning to get me going. And that's kind of where the short morning clip started was it was my own way of getting me out, up and going to start the day. And since starting that, going to cons, having people come up and say thank you for doing that. I I was taken aback by how many people actually responded and continued to respond to it. So, it started out just as something I was doing to get me started, but I didn't realize how many it was touching to help them start their day.
hmm. Yeah, I can honestly say it's hit me once or twice. Just to hear that RAWR
Yeah, yeah.
first thing in the morning.
And
Wake up.
90% of the time, it's just spur of the moment. Occasionally, there's an idea that comes in mind. That would be a good idea to try and try and remember it for the morning and stuff like that.
Most of it's improv, isn't
Oh, absolutely.
it?
Most definitely.
As far as your cast of characters, I didn't really notice like any set pattern. You just kind of mix it up as you go, with the exception of quote unquote Catterday.
Well, okay. How about Wolfie Wednesday? Yeah, there's a smattering of characters. Occasionally, yeah, one of the others will strike a chord and make an appearance. And there's a few that haven't made an appearance in a while that have don't probably get quite as much recognition as the main group of um, Green Dragon, Gooseberry, and Ruddy.
Hmm. This kind of gets into our
But
next question. I'm sorry, was you getting ready to say something?
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, we'll just go ahead and get into this next question then. Well, it was basically to ask if you were a suitor, which we can throw that part out the window. And as far as who made your suit, I think you pretty much already said and explained that you yourself make your own suits.
I've made my own suits. Yes, I made Green Dragon and actually am in the process of remaking him currently, trying doing some updates, changing a few things, but um, making some improvements on him. And that's a current work in progress. Uh, Gooseberry is not one that I made. That is a Beast Cub fursuit that started out as one of her drawings on a pie plate,
Hmm?
and it just kind of developed from there as she started with a piebald snow leopard, and next thing you know, it's a saber-toothed piebald snow leopard that is also kaiju, a city destroyer.
Okay, back up a minute. So you're telling me you went from eating apple pie to making a snow leopard?
Mm, yeah.
Hey, creativity in its finest.
Um, yep.
Takes all kinds. And some apple pie.
Yep. But yeah, yeah. Beast Cub does some phenomenal work. Some of the friends I've developed in the fandom over the year have also some of her suits, and it was kind of a goal of mine to at least get one. I do have two of hers now.
Hmm. So exactly.
There is another Beast Cub character that Keelan that I'm still trying to feel out the premise of that character yet. So haven't that one hasn't seen a whole lot of activity at this point.
So exactly how many structured characters do you have then?
Structured characters. Oh, shoot. Um, that are in existence now or planned?
Let's just go with an existence.
Yeah. That plan, it could be like Peytonville from the Nationwide commercials.
Yeah. Oh no. Uh, there's a five, six, seven, maybe.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Right
Hey,
now,
one
we
for
Yeah.
each day of the week.
yeah, let's get to
Yeah.
work that out somehow.
Yeah. And some of them are still a little bit more of a work in progress at this point. And um, but like you were asking, developed characters.
Mhm.
Um, Green Dragon, Gooseberry, and Ruddy are the most developed characters. They have a personality, they have a voice, they have a character that's behind them. Um, and yeah, they each explore a different headspace.
Have you thought about maybe doing like comic strips, like for these characters, or doing like I don't know storybooks, something of that nature?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Uh oh, what did
uh,
I do? Did I do something I probably shouldn't have?
Well, we got a whole cast of characters. Now we just need to throw them into a situation.
Oh dear.
True.
I probably
Oh
shouldn't have
dear.
said
Yeah.
that.
Oh dear. No, we don't need no more characters.
Yeah, we don't need more. You've got three. Just stick with those. The three most developed. Just,
Oh my goodness. I think we better move on to the next question.
yeah, Copper will get nuts over here. Anyways, let's delve in a little bit further. Based on your choice of your, let's say, primary persona,
Yeah.
because you know got three there, but on your primary persona, do you feel it represents your personality more, or would you rather be more emotionally like it? And you know, you can share anything from real life that also incorporates and works into your persona.
To answer that, I will refer to when I first showed Green Dragon to a good friend and coworker that I had worked with for practically 2 decades. The first time I showed him Green Dragon, he about lost it, and his first words was, "That is you. That has always been you."
Hmm.
And he saw right through through the character to who I was, to who the character was to be. And that was a big part of the anxiety at first. Was my anxiety was who was Green Dragon. And when he said that, he answered it completely.
So you were even kind of uncertain what Green Dragon was, but your coworker's like, "That's you. That's exactly you. It's always been you."
Yeah, from his very first sight of him, it was, yeah, it was just that instantaneous.
Huh. So
The typical personalities of a dragon, well, I should say stereotypical personalities of a dragon, is of course they love to hoard things. They're kind of gruff and kind of solo. And
breathe fire,
yeah, breathe
fly,
fire.
eat
Uh,
people.
hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, I hope you're not a cannibal over there. You drink your blood juice.
But would you consider Green Dragon having any of those traits?
That's that's one thing I will say has been influenced by an author that reading her books and reading her characters and development of dragons and society and stuff like that. And one of the statements she said about her books was she wanted to portray dragons not as the stereotypical dragon, but as something that is good, that is kind, that is devoted, and that is, you know, more noble. And through her dozens of books of this series, Anne McCaffrey and her Dragon Riders of Pern series, it was people working together with dragons that literally saved the world, kept it safe. And that was a big influence of behind uh, part of where Green Dragon is, who he is, what he is.
So he's part of
Hmm.
a dragon force, you would say.
Uh, Maybe not so much a dragon force, but the personality, the character. Not the stereotypical, "Oh, I'm going to hoard everything," and
Was it
overly gruff. You
like
know,
an opposite dragon? Hey, here's some gold. Just deal with it. Just leaves.
Hmm.
yeah. But and that's where the red uh, dragon mask comes in. Is that yes, he is very much the dragon, and his history is not exactly a pretty one. but age has tempered him to a certain extent. But he still is a very powerful character.
Huh. That's cool.
Hmm.
I like that. Not interesting.
I don't think I can add anything to that. I will ask though if you could put the name of that book and the author in the voice posting chat, and I will make sure to add that in later,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Yeah. Let's see. In McCaffrey, and that's let's see. And okay.
Hmm.
See, yeah, there's oh shoot, I forget how many books there are in that series, but that was something that started as a short story back in the late '70s. I think it was an analog magazine. It was a short story, but yeah, it's a interesting story, interesting series.
I look forward to at least checking it out. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Next question. Being a being a furry in kind of interacting with society, was there a point where you feel more or less alone than what you became what you are?
Hmm.
Has it opened up more opportunities towards making friends?
Um, I would say yes. As at first it was very anxious, very nervous about it. But as time uh, went on, um, I fully adopted it, and basically, yeah, I'm a furry, and go on. Um, so much so that even at work, I get questions from work. When are we going to see this character again? I miss them. And it's like, it's you know, I've had requests from my work lead for specific characters to show up, and it's fun, it's interesting, and a little bit intimidating at times.
Hmm. Say, for example, you're at a convention, you're suited up. Do you feel like you can go up and hug every single stranger that offers to give you a hug, or do you feel like you kind of have to just kind of be off off by yourself a little bit?
The being in character, um, being in character is watching people and watching their body language and seeing, are they are they interested? Are they, you know, is there a curiosity, or is there, a bit of a shun? I, you know, being in suit, seeing both sides of that. There are those that, yeah, they don't want anything to do with you. Okay, fine. Have a good day. There are those that are in the middle, that they're curious but they're not quite sure. And then there's the other group that's all in, run right up to you and give you a hug. The Usually the most interesting experiences is those that are curious but not quite sure. Um, I've one time I was in Green Dragon just before I got to the convention early, and there was a um, solar and renewable energy convention that was still wrapping up that was going on. Okay, let's go in suit and mingle. Okay, it was a perfect opportunity. And okay, I ended up on the second floor and decided to take the escalators down to the main level. And there was three gentlemen, a little ways from the escalator, suit and ties, all professional looking. And I literally, watching them coming down the escalator, they were pointing and talking about something that was on the escalator. It's like, okay, let's just go up to these gentlemen and see what's going on. And they seemed interested enough and went up to him and asked him and basically broke the ice of what brings you to Dallas Fort Worth. And their response kind of took me aback. Oh, we're here because we are the executive CEOs of the hotel chain. Okay. And can we get a picture of you? And I was like, okay, three suit and ties just asked me for a picture, and they're the executive board of directors. Okay, Green Dragon. Um, my response was, I feel maybe a little undressed. Should I be wearing a tie for this picture? No. Green Dragon, the character tries to be a little bit witty. They picked it up and says, well, if we understand it, your suit probably costs more than the three of ours combined. And that's how it went. Being in character, interacting with the public is as much fun and as interesting as being inside the furry community, say during a convention. There's been so many opportunities um, outside of a convention that have been largely positive, sometimes heart stopping, but largely positive. When you have a sheriff's deputy yell out, "Stop, dragon, stop." And okay, how do I not look intimidating with claws, with fangs, and how do I not look intimidating now?
Does it work? Does not work.
Yeah. No, she just wanted a picture.
My
And
goodness.
she was actually attempting to, at one point, she saw me earlier and thought about stopping traffic so that she could get across to get me then, but she was hoping she would catch me at a later time or catch Green Dragon at a later time.
You made your character too appealing.
I'm just being, that's just being Green Dragon. And yeah, it's fun, it's interesting, and seeing people smiles, hear them laugh is the greatest reward one could ask for.
Yeah. Can't argue with that logic.
Very true. Okay, I guess we'll get to the next question here in the set. During your day today, since becoming part of the furry fandom, what are some things that you started doing differently in your life? I know you said you started to kind of get the escape from work. You started doing the daily posts on Twitter, but is there anything else besides that, or something that you've said, okay, I'm going to start doing this, and that's now being part of your lifestyle? I mean, just answer as fast as you can. It doesn't have to be anything super detailed, but if anything, you know.
Uh, Probably the biggest thing I would say is seeing that initial reaction has changed has changed my attitude a lot, in that being grumpy and being upset drives people away. Being happy, being cheerful, being open brings people in. Um, it was after that first convention and diving into the furry fandom, um, tried a little experiment, and it was just going around shopping. And one time it was being, you know, gruff and grumpy, and basically, obviously not wanting to deal with anybody. And then trying the same thing, being, you know, positive, being happy, being open, you know, telling people hi and making eye contact. And it was surprising how not only the people that worked at the store responded, but also the other shoppers around. You know,
Hmm.
just little things can make a big influence on how you're perceived. When you know, trying being more positive brings out more positive in other people. Being negative drives people away.
Hmm.
That's one thing that really struck joining the fandom, is that you know helping and being a positive role model, being the you know through the morning videos and stuff like that. So many have said, thank you, and come up and said that and expressed you know expressed that it's helped them through whatever was going on in their lives. You know that's that's a huge that's a huge reward. That's a huge thank you.
Yeah.
So in turn, you made the videos to help support yourself, but in turn you supported others, and then they end up supporting you, and it just a never-ending cycle
Yeah,
for you now.
exactly. It was pay it forward. I didn't realize it at the time, but that's what it is. That's what it was.
Hmm.
Nice.
I like pay it forwards.
And no, this is not a sponsored ad for Pay It Forward for PayPal either. Just in case whoever's watching this, this is not a sponsored ad, or at least not the start of a sponsored ad.
Now, just don't put it in the description. I think everybody will figure that one out.
I guess I could put it in the description just to mess with people, but you know.
That's what I'm supposed to do. I was
Absolutely.
giving you an idea.
Yep.
PayPal sponsor us.
That'd be great. We already pay everybody through PayPal anyway.
Well, we've said
Oh,
PayPal enough for it to be an ad, so I guess this is an ad.
PayPal, please give us money. Poor. I'll handle the money in the treasurer, so. Embezzle.
uh, so throughout that endless wave of positivity, you just continue to grow and make more characters.
Yeah, yeah, and each one is a. The fun part is coming up with exploring the character and seeing what develops. Each one explores a little bit different, a different avenue. Gooseberry, when I first got him, I didn't know what that character was going to be, and pretty soon, Gooseberry is a little bit self-conscious and can't pass a mirror without brushing and preening a little bit. But I think Gooseberry secretly wants to be a newscaster. Now, where
Hmm.
that came from, it was just one of the, I think it was one of the early morning videos at one time, and all of a sudden he does a little news report for, the traffic report. And next thing you know, okay, where did that come from? I had no idea that was going to happen.
So if you had a news desk, a camera crew, and one of those swivel chairs, you would probably stick Gooseberry in a suit and then be one of those people that turns around and say, "Good morning. I'm Gooseberry with the 6 o'clock news."
Oh, absolutely. He would be absolutely comfortable doing that. And yeah, that would be Gooseberry's dream job.
I tried to do that once. I mean, it was in college, but we didn't really have an actual radio station, but we did go up to the sound booth in the auditorium and actually record the news that was going on around campus.
Yeah.
We didn't have weather and traffic reports because we're on campus, so but we did news reports about things going on at the school. Like my news report was mainly on the new bookstore that was being built my last year, so it was
Okay.
fun stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fun to screw around when nobody's around, but then somebody breaks in. It's like, oh crap! And now I feel anxious to be correct because if I'm not correct, I know this person's going to, be like, huh, you effed up.
You messed up. Yep.
You effed up.
Are
Sucks
you
to be
actually paying attention? Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not. When I'm the center of attention and all eyes are on me, it's not a good. I'm not well working under that kind of pressure.
So
Yeah.
if you had a camera crew, an editing crew, and a green screen, I could honestly see like all three of your main characters being like supporting roles in a news report. Like
There's anchor,
Gooseberry, of course,
co-anchor,
being the anchor. Yeah.
the
Okay.
anchor, the co-anchor, the sports report, and the weather. That's all you need.
Ay ay ay.
But if you want to make it funny, you can't use your characters you got now. You gotta have dumb names for your characters. Like the anchor's name would be, Thor because it hurts. I'm Thor because it hurts.
Oh.
Cosmic.
Yeah. You don't know how close Thor is. Ah.
Come up with worse names. Not going to.
Oh God. Don't make me bring my coworker in here.
I'm saying I could come up with worse names.
Oh
Sorry.
no, we're kind of getting off topic here. Um, and this is not going to be a good setup for this question, but um, let's just say you're at a convention. There's a person who just practically wandered off the street, seeing all these characters walking around. Has never been involved in the furry fandom, never seen a furry post, never read anything on Twitter, seen any artwork or anything like that. They walk in there, they walk into the convention and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to get a con badge. I don't know why, but I'm going to get it." But thing is, they have no clue of anything. and they walk up to you and they ask, "So, where exactly do I start with this fandom? Where's the best place to go? What do I need to experience first to get the full understanding of the fandom?" What exactly would you say to that person?
Well, first of all, you just described an experience I have had in Green Dragon. And it
Oh,
was a gentleman that um, was not a part of the furry fandom and was actually quite um, nervous and uh, almost scared of it. You know, all these crazy people in costumes, and he was almost to the point of being frightened, and ended up, you know, he was basically there to support a family member that wanted to go to con, and he was helping them get to the con, stuff like that, but he wasn't a part of the fandom. And as Green Dragon, um, just kind of slowly started talking with him and all that, and you could literally see him relax uh, as the conversation went on, and caught up with him, several times during the convention and stuff like that. And by the end, he was, you know, describing, what he had seen, what he had done, and what an amazing weekend he had. So, it's not, you know, it's not so much you lead, someone, go here, do this, and stuff like that. It's just experience it. At times it's just watching the people, watching the characters, and seeing what's going on, the interaction, of you know friends that hadn't seen each other in a long time, and this is a convention that they get to see each other maybe once a year. Friends that have known each other, and stuff like that, and new friendships, uh, taking shape. So, as far as a new person coming, seeing a convention for the first time, yeah, it's overwhelming. Take it slowly, take it easy. It's easy to get lost and forget yourself, or forget to eat for 3 days.
hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When when I attended MFF for my second year, I was told by the our beloved Gopher leaders of the 6-2-1 rule. Always have 6 hours of sleep each day. Always make sure to get at least 2 meals, and then always to make sure to have at least one shower. Take at least one shower per day.
Yep, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I agree. I
I
do
mean, the
agree.
2 meal. Go ahead.
No, that's I just say yeah, I agree absolutely. The two meals thing is sometimes absolutely not ever going to happen with me. So, but sometimes it does.
Yep, yep. And sometimes, anymore with you know meeting up with different friends and stuff like that, it's let's arrange to have a good meal at some point, and just get together.
Hmm.
Can't do
Exactly.
that anymore though. Well, not at the moment.
Well,
Yeah,
let's not. Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely understand what you do. We used to do that. Me and Copper with my cousin Sam, we used to hit the Dixies every Wednesday after church, usually.
Okay.
But Dixie's is just, a little home style kind of
I
restaurant.
was about ready to say, Cosmic. Not everybody knows what Dixie's is around here.
That's
You
why
could have just said. You could have just said the local restaurant.
It's a little home style restaurant.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore, mainly because either we're too busy or Sam's too busy usually, because Sam's got kids and stuff, and we don't.
Well, even outside the furry fandom, getting together with friends and family, for even a small meal or just a quick bite is still a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have that every Sunday. I go to my parents' house for lunch, and then kind of hang out for a few hours, and at 4 o'clock I go back home to go back to sleep because I work third shift. And
Yep.
that's why I have about one meal a day instead of two. Have it at work, and then I come home and pass out.
Ah,
That's kind of why I usually don't get two meals a day.
yeah.
Anyway, that's not pertinent to this conversation, this podcast. So.
You're the only one I knows that uses that word, impertinent.
I'll be one of the only people that uses these words that you need a thesaurus for.
May have to
Anyways.
make change for those.
It's not going to happen. No. I'll be using words that you will have to look at the dictionary, the thesaurus for, and it's like, I still don't understand what that word means. I'll never use it in passing. I will. Because I love seeing the people that come up with like, I say some erroneously long, unused word and be like, what? Because they don't say anything, but the faces say something like, that's the thing in life. It's like, you have one guilty pleasure, and mine seeing the ridiculous like what on people's faces. That's what I do. That's why I'm here.
Yep.
Oh, Cosmic, you're gonna be the death of me.
So you're the one that brings out supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No, I'm the one who brings out no, because that's not a real word. I'm the one who actually uses real words, or combinations of words that are also real, like absolutely, positively, and stuff. I don't know what all these absolutely, positively people are. I don't know where that comes from because I'm talking about absolutely, positively.
Okay, don't make me break out the Scrabble dictionary.
I don't use that. I've never used the Scrabble dictionary. I don't trust it. It's false. It's like, oh, I just put a letter here. It makes a word.
Okay. Let's be clear. Cosmic is okay. You're familiar with the grammar Nazi. Cosmic is the grammar Axis power.
A superpower. I can do anything I want with words, letters, punctuation, and grammar. Do not mess with me. I will bring you down.
Oh, Cosmic is the wordsmith.
Yes.
That's partly correct.
Well, he's got a literature major. Well, not a major, but
yes, it is. It's a bachelor's.
Literary degree.
Yes, I have a degree. I have a bachelor's in English literature with a certificate in journalistic writing.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to teach kids because I'd probably either be looking for a job or in jail.
What?
Okay. Moving on.
Education major. If I would have gotten the education major, either I would be looking for a job because I can't stand kids, or I'd be in jail because I can't stand kids.
Okay.
Kid walking in the middle road, 20 points.
that went in a completely unintended direction.
Hey, you started it.
No, 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 no. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
yes. He has a literary degree.
Oh, why don't we get back to our guest? We need to know more about our guest and less about you right now.
All I got is electronics degree.
That's a cool degree. I wish I had a degree that actually allowed me to have a job in what I'm good at.
I didn't go to
I used
college.
to work. I used to work at a newspaper. Then they went digital. I I was no longer needed.
Well, somebody still has to, type in them words, whether it's on goes on newsprint or on someone's screen.
Apparently, it wasn't me.